Che ha detto? What did she say? So in today's video, we're going to talk about why learning Italian is important, especially if you are considering moving to Italy. Our first reason is that many Italians don't speak English. And if they do speak English, they speak it rather badly. Don't panic, however. I have met plenty of Italians that are very proficient, near proficient, or just have a very good command of the language. I think they're the minority, but they're out there, believe me. The second reason, and this is tied to the first one, is that you need Italian for everyday living. For example, if you want to open up a bank account, then yes, you are definitely going to need some grasp of the Italian language. Also, the grocery store is a place where you're going to need Italian. Not as much as opening up a bank account, but yeah, I still found that necessary. Just the other day, I was in line at the checkout, and there was this American girl who had forgotten her wallet, and she was trying to communicate this to the cashier. So the lady who didn't know English, she looked at me in a panic, was like, "Che ha detto?" What did she say? So yeah, it came in handy.
Gate not working. Open and close manually.
Having a good rapport with your neighbors is incredibly important in Italy. My wife and I have had numerous times where we have to contact the neighbors, where we have to ask them to help us out. There has been a myriad of situations where we needed to interact with them. And as far as I know, most of them don't speak English. The guy above me does, actually. He's pretty good. But 1 out of 10, you get the idea. Next, let's talk about the world of work. If you want to find a job in Italy, I think knowing the Italian language is simply a must. I think it's a must if you want to have access to some of the top paying jobs in this country, and also language schools. I've seen many adverts for English teachers in this country, and somewhere in the advert, it often said, some Italian is required. Public examinations, Italian. Driver's license, Italian. Getting a job in Italy, I think, is one of the best ways to insert yourself into Italian society. Once you're working here, paying taxes, you really do feel like you are a useful member of society. And from there, you form friendships. It just kind of mushrooms from there. So the catalyst for all this, if you will, is learning the Italian language. There's also a rather emotional reason why I think you should learn Italian, but I'll get into that a little bit later in the video. The next reason, and this is probably one of the biggest reasons in my opinion, is networking. By networking, I mean making friends with Italians. And I think this is crucial for Italian culture, for everyday living, really. So once I was doing a lesson with an Italian gentleman, and he said something which really helped me to understand the Italian mindset. He said that in ogni situazione, l'italiano medio cerca un amico. I really do think that there's a ring of truth to what he said, because I think Italians really do try to look for a friend in multiple situations. There's pros and cons to it. I think there's more positives than negatives. A negative example would be in the world of work. Very often, I've heard of people who get hired for certain positions, but they're not exactly the most qualified person for the job. But they've got a friend on the inside, and ecco, they got the job. In Italian, this is called raccomandazione. Okay, basta. We're a little off topic, so let's concentrate again. So the next one is you can impress the locals. Italians really do appreciate it when you make an attempt to learn their language. Ci tiene ad imparare la mia lingua. Ottimo. For them, this is you making an effort on your part to, in essence, learn more about them, to communicate with them, to reach out, if you will. The Italians, however, seldom correct you when you make mistakes, because for them, the most important thing is to communicate, even with errors. Next, let's talk about your mental health. Now, they say that when you learn another language, this helps in memory and multitasking. I would argue that you should learn Italian even when you're a bit older, because I think this is a great way to keep your brain sharp, and the more you are with it mentally, I think that this will prevent maybe even Alzheimer's when you're older. Learn Italian in your spare time. If you have at least 10 minutes of downtime per day, I say spend them learning Italian. You might think, just 10 minutes, what could I possibly learn? Well, if you do this for a month straight, you may see some results. Now for this next one, I know that I'm biased really, but honestly, Italian is a cool sounding language. There is a certain musicality to Italian. In fact, I remember when I was in high school, I played the clarinet badly, and I remember looking at the music and there were a lot of words that were Italian. I didn't quite understand them at the time. Now I would, obviously. But yeah, even today, there are still words and phrases which to me just are fun to say. Ad esempio questo. Fossi in te, imparerei l'italiano. One benefit that you may not be thinking of is that when you learn Italian, you are in essence learning a Romance language, and this can help you to learn the other Romance languages. For example, I can't understand French, but I can read it because a lot of the words are similar. Actually, Italian was not my first second language. It was actually Spanish because I studied it in high school. But as I was learning Italian, I would make this comparison to Spanish. And now it's the reverse. When I see a Spanish word, I say, oh, that's that in Italian. Emergency situations, le emergenze. I can guarantee you that if you are going to live here in Italy, you will find yourself at least once in a serious situation. And so I think even a rudimentary understanding and grasp of the language is necessary. Hear the ambulance? Yeah, if you've got an emergency and you've got to talk about what happened to you, then you might want to converse with them in Italian. I once had to go to court and I had to give a testimony in Italian. I mean, it wasn't difficult really, but I was a bit nervous talking in front of the judge and just being in that legal situation. Well, the last one is for all of you who are of Italian origin like myself. I think it is simply cool and it's even an honor to learn the language of your ancestors. Even to this day, it's just simply nice that I'm able to speak the language that for them was their first language. And so it's kind of like you are reconnecting with your past, and it's very special. Now granted, my ancestors spoke their local dialects, which is close enough to Napolitano, but Italian is close enough for me. For this week's expression, let's suppose you are in a situation where you need to communicate that you don't speak very well, but that you are learning Italian. And you would say it in this way: Mi scusi, non parlo benissimo l'italiano. Sto imparando l'italiano. Now, if you are serious about your Italian language learning, then go to the description of this video and you will see a link for EUS, the European Cultural Center in New York. And also, if you use my code at the time of checkout, then you will receive a $50 discount. Do check the website carefully when classes start, and also see if the class that you're interested in offers a free trial lesson, because they do occasionally offer that. Make sure you drop me a mi piace if you enjoyed today's video. And also, if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you do that. I make Italy-related videos, but more specifically, I do videos which are linguistic, cultural, and practical in nature. If by chance you would like to see more linguistic videos that I have made on this channel, then click on the playlist that you're seeing on the screen right now. Grazie mille per l'attenzione. Ci vediamo alla prossima. Thank you very much for watching. I appreciate your time, and I'll see you in the next video.